All right, welcome again now to Sunday's section of the lesson, and we are asked to read Romans 12 verses 6 and 7. So let's look at verse 6. We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy in accordance with your faith. Let's go to verse 7. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. So it says here, read the Did You Know section of the lesson to learn more about fishing on the Sea of Galilee in Jesus' time. All right, so let's just jump to that. Did you know? Okay. Here we go. Did you know? Did you know? The Sea of Galilee has been a famous spot for fishermen since ancient times. Fishing methods used in Jesus' time probably included catching fish with their bare hands or in wicker baskets, trapping fish, fishing with hooks and lines, or spear fishing with arrows or harpoons. But fishing with nets was by far the most popular way to fish. Peter, Andrew, James, and John were probably fishing with circular cast nets, which were weighted to allow the nets to encircle the fish. This required great skill and also great dedication on the part of the fishermen. Jesus called Peter and his companions away from fishing to a task that would also require skill and total dedication, fishing for human beings to bring them into the kingdom of God. All right, so let's go back. All right, so we've read that. Jesus used the image of fishing for men because that was what his disciples were familiar with. For them, it would create a picture of gathering up a great number of people out of the world and into God's kingdom. If he had been talking to farmers, he might have invited them to come and harvest human crops to bring them into God's barn. In fact, he used this kind of image in several of his parables. What type of image might Jesus use today in inviting people to bring others into his kingdom? What kinds of image might he use if he were calling a teacher, a bus driver, a doctor, a teenager? So, if we're thinking about the teacher, he could put it in the context of a classroom. I'm calling you to share the word, share the knowledge, the skills, and the attitudes with this particular group of people. A bus driver, okay. And the bus driver's function is to take you safely from one place to another. So he could say probably, I'm calling you to move these people safely from the kingdom of the enemy into the kingdom of God. A doctor, okay, to bring healing to those who are sick and diseased by sin, something like that. A teenager, maybe using social media. I am calling you now to be a follower of this great social influencer and divine person, Christ. All right, let's look at this part. It says, what talents and abilities has God given you to help spread the gospel? So take a look at your talents and abilities and then think how you could use those to spread the gospel. All right, take care. See you in our next episode.